ask me later about aquifer science. When we talk about lithium, we hear the word mining a lot, but the reality is that while extracting lithium from brines does require a lot of the same skill sets that mining does, extracting lithium from brine is a technologically advanced and a field that needs much more technological investment. So everybody knows Argentina has a lot of lithium. It's an important player in the lithium market, but Argentina has only 2 producing lithium projects. Only one of these projects has a significant track record of producing battery quality material. In addition to these 2 producing projects, Argentina has 1 additional fully financed project in construction that is scheduled to come online in 2020. Everything else you hear about Argentina's lithium space is in some of the various stages of exploration or looking for finance. So Argentina has a very interesting lithium resource, but the amount of money and the amount of science that has to go into turning that into a economically viable or something that's actually worth talking about when it comes to the lithium market is a vast chasm that has to be acknowledged and overcome. So when we talk about lithium, everybody's got their phone. A lot of people probably have a laptop. A lot of people have an Apple Watch. Lithium is used primarily for the battery market, but there's also important other markets for lithium in the world. So about 51% of the end use of lithium sold in 2017 was for lithium-ion batteries. The next largest chunk there is glass, frets, and glaze, so that's glass and ceramics. So if anybody uses Pyrex or any other expensive glass material that you're able to put in the oven, take out, put in the freezer, take out, the reason that glass is able to react to heat without breaking is because it contains lithium. If anybody has an iPhone, and you've probably realized that over the years the glass that they use on the front has gotten better. They use a Gorilla Glass, which they are doing research and development to add more and more lithium to, because it gives it that flexible property. So there are other important markets for lithium, but the biggest market and then the fastest growing market is the lithium-ion battery space. If you notice, you will see a little teeny tiny sliver here for metal, which is 3%. The idea of pure lithium is a bit of a silly concept, because remember we learned how unstable lithium is when it's on its own. As an element, it needs to combine with other things. So when people talk about purifying lithium or extracting lithium, they're not talking about taking lithium to its pure metal state, the way that you do with other mined commodities and metals. Lithium, in its pure metal form, is only 3% of the current global end market use. Most lithium never becomes a metal in its lithium life. The interest in lithium comes from this growth, this tremendous growth we've seen in the battery segment. So if you look at here, this is the supply and demand from 2016 forecasted through 2025. The red one is carbonate for batteries, and the green one is high. So when we talk about lithium, we're talking about a lithium chemical. So the compounds that are used in the battery industry are primarily 2 lithium chemicals, which are lithium carbonate and lithium hydroxide. You see that the red is the current lithium carbonate for battery usage, and that's what's used to make the batteries in your phones, and that will be used to make the batteries in trains and buses and some electric vehicles. The green is lithium hydroxide, and that's the chemical that is going to be used to make the majority of passenger electric vehicles. So you can see that these are the chunks of the graph that are growing the most quickly, which is why the interest in the lithium market comes from this massive demand and this massive exponential growth from the battery space. So that's the basics. Does anybody have any questions about lithium basics? Yes?
What is the electromagnetic charge of lithium that, we're getting this electromagnetic effect from our cell phones?
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, the batteries put out electromagnetic radiation.
That is something that is because of batteries, not because of lithium.
Okay.
So it's not a question
it's
about
not the lithium in the batteries,
No.
there's something
It's
else
the
in
voltage
batteries.
difference, and it's also the phone trying to connect to and talk to satellites. It's the signals that have to come in and out.
So lithium itself doesn't have an electromagnetic charge?
It does, but so does water. Like lithium is like hydrogen or oxygen, or it's an element, so it's number 3. So its charges, it's got 3 protons and 3 electrons. So lithium is, I mean, any like your fork has an electromagnetic charge. Metals have an electromagnetic charge.
And the car industry,
We will get to the car industry.
need a lot.
We will get to that under mobility.
But how do you manage it in pharma as medicine? Because you take lithium as medicine.
You do take lithium as medicine, so that is an organic.
Yes.
But it is, you use lithium from the same mines, you just process it in a organic fashion. If you want, I can give you my email and I can send you some papers on that. Yes?
Why is there such a big resistance in Jujuy and all the provincias?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
These are just questions about lithium. Like, as an element, was there anything unclear? Okay, so we're going to move on next to batteries. We've kind of understood that lithium is an element. It's typically sold in a chemical form, and the demand for lithium comes from this growth in batteries. So to start off with batteries, we're going to say, what's a battery? Battery is a way to store energy that is coming from a chemical, creating a chemical potential energy. Besides the batteries that are probably in things like this microphone, lithium-ion batteries are rechargeable batteries. And so they're a small part of the energy storage space, but most energy storage is not using a lithium-ion battery. A lithium-ion battery is used for something that needs to have the ability to be mobile.